Hello, writers. Today we are going to be brainstorming. We are writing a personal narrative. Now, you have written some personal narratives before, but it's very important that we develop this skill in first grade. So we are going to do it again with a new topic. So when we are brainstorming, we are getting all of those ideas that are in our brain onto the paper. So here is my journal paper, and I am just going to model this for you, and then you are going to do your own in the activity. So don't worry about getting your journal right now. You do not need it, and we will get started. So today is 3/1/21. So go ahead and write your date. Then over on the other side, I am going to write brainstorming. So that we know what this page was for. So with our brainstorming, we are taking the ideas that we have in our head and putting them on the paper. Now today we are writing about a time we went on a trip. This could be a trip to the park, a trip to the museum, maybe it's a field trip, maybe it is a trip that you took in a car to another state, maybe it's a trip you took to another country. You get to decide whatever trip you would like to go on or you have gone on. So, once I took a trip to, and then we are going to leave some space for our answer because all of our answers are going to be different. Not all of us have traveled to the same places. So, the next thing, I like to get organized. So I am going to, where did my markers go? I'll use this one. I'm going to separate my page into 3 blocks, and I'm going to think back to 3 times that I have taken a trip. One trip I have been on, I took an airplane. So I'm going to draw an airplane. So there's my airplane. I took that airplane and I went to Disney World. So here's the little Epcot ball. And then I'll do some Mickey ears. And that will be my trip to Disney World pictures. So I know that I took a plane. I drew a Mickey Mouse head to show that I went to Disney World, and I drew the Epcot ball because that's the closest park that we stayed to. Another time I took a trip was to Zilker Park, and that was the first time I had ever been to Zilker Park. It's in Austin, and it was really cool because there were all these hills, and in the background you could see all of the different buildings of the city. So far away you could see that the city was in the background. So I thought that that was super special and pretty cool. So there's the city in the background, and there were some trees at Zilker Park. And I'm going to label this one. So you could see downtown Austin in the background of the park. Another trip I have been on is to the beach. So here I know it's Disney because I have my Mickey Mouse. Here I know it's Zilker Park because I labeled it and it looks like the park. So when I have my beach, it needs to look like the beach. So I'm gonna have some water here. So my picture has to remind me of my trip, right? And then I sat in a big comfy chair on that beach and I didn't go anywhere, and I had an umbrella. And there were some fish we could see in the water. It was beautiful, clear water. So I have a picture of the beach that I can tell is the beach. So it's really important that we remember what our pictures are of so that tomorrow when we get to actually writing our draft, we know what these pictures were. So here is my first trip of Disney World, Zilker Park, and the beach. Those are the times that I have taken a trip. Now, I am only going to write about one of them. So we have 1, 2, 3 options, but I am only going to write about one option. I'm going to choose the trip that I have taken most recently, which was to the beach. So once I took a trip, I'm going to finish this sentence with the beach. Now, I squished it in. You don't have to. You can always go on the next line. So when we are brainstorming, we are thinking about some ideas, and then we are going to write about those ideas tomorrow. Go ahead, grab your grown-up at home or a friend in the classroom and tell them some of your ideas for some trips that you have taken. Tell them maybe your favorite trip you've ever taken or the one you just took most recently. Maybe it's a trip to a really far away place. Maybe it's a trip that was to downtown, very close by. That is completely up to you. Go ahead and talk to your neighbor. Did you have some good ideas? I bet you did. I know that some places, even super close to our house, can be a really good trip because it gets us away from our usual. So we are going to move on to the activity now, explaining what you are going to do.